favorites, and today we're making mozzarella sticks. Sounds fun, right? So what all you need is some non-cooking spray, 3 eggs, of course you need mozzarella sticks, well the mozzarella cheese, not the sticks yet. A can of tomato sauce and different little spices. We need some parsley, basil, and oregano, and then we need some breadcrumbs. Before any recipe, you want to make sure that you wash your hands. You wash it for 20 seconds. You want to wet them, get them good lather, go between your fingernails, your fingers. You can either count to 20 or sing that happy birthday song or ABC song. Have your paper towel ready. Use your paper towel to cut it off. And then you want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 400 before you get started with the recipe. Alright, so let's get started. First we want to take a small bowl. We're going to break 3 eggs. And make sure when you're handling anything that's raw, you want to wash your hands afterwards. So I just got to do handling the raw eggs. So I'm going to come over here and wash my hands off. And you just want to take a fork and you want to scramble up the eggs. So we got that scrambled up. Now we want a place to make our breadcrumbs mix. So you have 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Then we're going to take our parsley and you're going to do half a teaspoon of parsley, half a teaspoon of basil. Ooh, we got our top one. And then half a teaspoon of oregano. So we're going to take our spoon, mix that around. When we start dipping, we want to make sure we have our baking sheet, we will have our non-stick spray, and just spray your pan like this. Just a little coat. 1 coat will be fine. And then we have our mozzarella cheese. And so remember how I told you to hold the knife? You want to have a good grip. Have a claw version. Have one of your hands in a claw. And we're just going to make strips. And we're going to have a little rocking. And you can make it how big you want. If you want it small, large, like this one's a little large. And we may want to cut that one in half. And then we have a good mozzarella stick. So remember, hold your knife steady, have your claw, and then do a little boat rocking motion. There's some thick mozzarella cheese in one. And then like I said, you can either stack them up and then just chop down the middle. And then we have our little sticks. Alright, so once we're going to cut them up, we put them in the freezer for 20 minutes. Now they're ready to dip. So we have our egg batter and then we have our bread mix. So you want to take your mozzarella cheese, dip it in the egg mix first. You want to make sure it's covered up real good. Ooh, y'all like this part because all messy. Then you want to roll it in the batter. And you want to make sure that it's covered all over. So you want to get a good roll. And now we place one on there and then we continue with the other ones. And sometimes I like to just go ahead and cover it up with all of them with egg batter. And then we'll all shake it at one time. finish, if you like me, I love mozzarella sticks. So these are homemade. You know what's in them. And you get to make them at home with your family. So you can do something like this and kind of toss it around in the mix, making sure that you don't get any on the floor. And you want to make sure all of them cover up. And again, you get the same outcome as we did the first one, except we did a whole bunch of them at the same time. All right, now we're gonna put them in the oven. And then we're gonna close it up. And now it's a waiting game. Keep them in there for 5 to 8 minutes. Now let's go ahead and make the marinara sauce. So you need a can. Let's go ahead and turn on the stove. Probably about medium heat. And then let's go ahead and give it a little spray just in case. We don't want anything to stick. And we're gonna wait till this warm up. All right, so we have our no salt added tomato sauce. So we saw that the stove was a little hot. That's okay, that's okay. We turn it down. Stir it a little bit. And you want to make sure you read your label. It only have 10 milligrams of salt. So we turned that down, all the way down. And now we're going to add the rest of our seasoning in there. But we're only going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of our basil, oregano, and parsley. Ooh, sound yummy already, y'all. We're making our own homemade sauce for our mozzarella sticks. All right, we'll let that simmer for a little bit just to get warm. And then we're gonna look at the finished product. All right, the cheese sticks are finished. Let's take them out the oven, see how they look. Make sure you have something to use, an oven mitt or something to take them out. You don't want to burn your hand. All right, everyone. Well, we finished. We have our mozzarella sticks. Don't they look good? And then we have our homemade marinara sauce. The week before, we discussed about fruits and vegetables. So let's go in a little more details of why we need to eat more fruits and vegetables. So as you see, I have my plate on me, and you want to make half your plate fruits and vegetables. As you see on my thing, you got your fruits, 2 cups a day, and your vegetables, 3 cups a day. Then you have your different types of fruits and vegetables. So we have our fresh ones, of course, or you have your frozen, and then you have your canned. And of course, everybody say, hey, fresh is the best, right? Well, fresh and frozen are hand in hand. Frozen is frozen right at peak season once they harvested it. So it is just as good for you as fresh. But we're not going to throw away canned either, because everybody may not know how to use fresh products or frozen products. So canned products can be good for you too. You just have to do a little tricks with it. So if you're using canned vegetables, you can either buy the no salt added, and if you do get the regular kind, then you open it, you drain it, you rinse it off, and you at least rinsing off 40% of the sodium, which is salt. And then if you're doing your fruit products, then you want to either buy packed in water or its own juice. Not the light syrup, not the heavy syrup. Packed in its own juice or water. And then you're not getting all that sugar from it. And why you say do you want to eat fruits and vegetables? because it gives us all type of nutrients that we need to keep our body healthy. But the most one of all, it provides fiber. You not only get fiber from fruits and vegetables, but we're going to touch on whole grains later on. But fiber helps with our digestive system. It helps everything move along, push everything along. So with that 8 cups of water that we discussed last week, and you're getting fruits and vegetables and eating enough whole grain, you're getting plenty of fiber. With the combination, it's pushing everything out your system. You're supposed to have 3 bowel movements a day. Now, if you have one a day, that's better than having none, but we'll discuss that at another time. And then we have our whole grains. So you see that over there? You only need, and we discussed that a little bit too, you only need 6 ounces a day. So let's talk about it a little bit more. When choosing whole grain products, it may say it on the front part of the label, but sometimes you want to read that first ingredient should have whole grain. This will have enriched. Enriched flour, or may have enriched bleach. That means that it's truly not a whole grain product. So you want to find something that says truly a whole grain. The first ingredient gonna always say maybe brown rice, whole grain, whole rye, barley, something in that nature. So to let you know that it's truly a whole grain product. So what you want to do when you buy whole grain products, look at that first ingredient, and it should say whole grain, something in that nature. If it have enriched bleach, then that means unbleached, enriched. That means that is not a whole grain product, no matter what it says on the front part of the product. All right, see you next time.